Welcome to the Rhythms of New York. I'm Dave Brodsky, your host and producer, and sitting to the left of me is the one, the only, the fabulous, the girl with the wave.
Hi, I'm Selena Bosque. I never know, the wave, don't wave.
Wave, that's what your trademark is.
Wave.
You know, Salinas also has a fan club. If you go to our website, you'll see the URL at the credits at the end of the show. Join her fan club.
When are you getting a fan club, Dave?
Well, I have one member of my fan club.
Who, the cat?
My cat, yeah.
Okay.
I have two cats, only one member of the fan club. So. Well, you know the Beta Awards was held recently,
yes.
And the Rhythms of New York won for.
We won for Best in Entertainment. That is so exciting.
And why is that?
Because we're the best. No.
We present the best artists that there is. If you watch the Rhythms of New York, you know that you have a really, really good show. And tonight is no exception. We have an artist by the name of Efrat. She plays violin, and she plays all different types of music.
And by the way, she's feeling under the weather, so it's amazing that she's even...
She's a true professional.
Yeah,
she came out here today when she was sick. We had an act who wanted to appear on the Rhythms of New York once, and he said, I'm coming down with a cold. I can't do the show. He was coming down with a cold a week before and he couldn't do the show.
Exactly.
That's not professional.
It is what it is.
I know. Well, tell the audience what you've been up to lately.
Well, super exciting. Auditioning, of course, because every actor has to audition. That's our thing. I'm working on a short film. And I'm super excited.
Short film about like what people like me?
It's a short film, no. But it's gaining buzz.
Buzz, like bees.
Some bees in it, maybe.
Short bees?
And I'm just super excited because...
super excited, not just regular excited, but super excited.
Well, if you will ever let me talk about it, you guys would know what I'm doing.
Go ahead, I'll let you talk.
He's more excited. What's going on?
Can I be your agent?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll work. That'll work, by the way. It's in pre-production. That's all I want to say.
That's all you want to say?
Yes.
And so what else are you working on in the business?
And I'm in the middle of working on my real estate license.
Okay. You also have another TV show that you're working on, too.
That's part of the, well,
we really can't talk about that right now.
We can't get into it.
But people will see it. If they follow you on our website, they can find out more about you. Salinas has a MySpace page, and she has a Facebook page. Are you on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. You can find me on just please don't, like, tell me some weird stuff.
Yeah, Twitter is great, but the problem is I don't care what you're having for breakfast.
Yeah, it's just some crazy stuff going on with the social networking. But this is the day and age we're living in now. Everything is internet. And I'll be setting up my IMDb page soon.
Oh, really, really good.
So,
IMDb.
Yeah.
What does IMDb stand for?
Internet Movie Database?
I don't know. I think it's owned by Amazon.com, isn't it?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, I've been in this business for 25 years, and I have to say the business. We don't say the music business or the film business or the television business. It's the business. And in the 25 years that I've been in this business, very rarely do you find somebody who you can say, wow, that person has it. That person has star potential. And we have that guest on today, and I bet you that in 5 years from now, this woman is going to win a Grammy Award, right? She's multi-talented.
That's exciting.
She's a very, very nice person. She plays the violin, as I said before. She plays all different types of music. We're going to find out the difference between a violin and a fiddle. Do you know the difference?
Not really, but I'm sure she'll tell us.
Well, we'll find out about it. And
we're super excited that it's a big band.
Again, super excited. She likes to use the word super excited.
Today it's super excited. I don't know. The other way with Stark, I was saying rock goddess. Now it's super excited. I go through these phases. But we're super excited to have this big band.
Right. And without further ado, our friend,
Efrat.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, I walked to a bar the other night, saw a man ready to pick a fight, but then he saw me coming in, and the fight went out when the love came in. That's because the fighting goes out when the love comes in, 'cause when the love comes in, there's a lot more to win now. The fighting goes out when the love comes in, 'cause the love, there's a whole bunch of going and on. Ooh, I've got me loving coming this way tonight. I've got me something, and I'm finally getting it right. Yeah, yeah, the fighting goes out when love comes in, 'cause when a love comes in, there's love that's a whole bunch of oohing and ahhing. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Well, the devil man, mean as can be, but then he met love and he turned all sweet. He used to make trouble wherever he'd go, but now the trouble he says no, no, no. But doobly ba ba oh 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 oh. You see, that's because the fighting goes out when the love comes in. 'Cause when the love comes in, there's a lot more to win now. Fighting goes out when the love comes in. 'Cause love, there's a whole bunch of fooling and ahhing. Ba 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 da 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 da. Oh, oh. When the love comes in, 'cause when the love comes in, there's a lot more to win now. The fighting goes out when the love comes in, 'cause love, there's a whole bunch of fooling and ahhing. Ba 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 da 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 da. Oh oh.
Welcome back to the Rhythms of New York. I'm Dave Brodsky.
And I'm Salinez Bosque.
And sitting to the right of me is our good friend, Efrat.
Hi. Thank
Welcome to the Rhythms of New York.
Well, thank you for having me here. It's an honor.
And thank you for coming out tonight. We know that you're a little bit under the weather. Under the weather and bad weather.
Well, music is music if you get
Well, you're a
chance.
real trooper, a professional, a super trooper.
Thank you.
Super trooper.
Thank you very much.
Well, you're a young woman. Can I say that?
I'd like to think I still am.
You're a young woman, but your resume is very, very long. You've been doing this in this business for years, since you were a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you come from...
I grew up in Tennessee, but I don't really feel like I'm a Tennessean.
You grew up in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like
No.
New York is in America. Oak Ridge isn't Tennessee. Everybody there, their dads are scientists.
Right. So your father was a nuclear scientist, right?
That's correct.
Wow.
He likes to smash things.
Like to smash things.
Yeah, see what's inside.
What was the joke that you were going to say?
Well, when you were young, now I'm not going to tell any jokes today. I never tell any jokes. Do I ever tell
You
jokes?
see, I'm bringing the jokes
No.
up for him.
I never tell any jokes.
I guess he wanted to know, did you glow when you were little?
You know, everybody
Blame her
asks
for that
Oak
joke.
Ridgers, do you glow in the dark? Well, apparently we don't glow in the dark, but we do have two-headed squirrels. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay, wow, okay, sorry I asked.
We have some out in the park here in Central Park.
Ooh, look, I can tell send them back to Oak Ridge where they belong.
Well, when you were young, no more jokes, right?
Okay, yeah. We're
When
serious,
you,
we're
when you
serious.
were when you were an infant, not an infant, but you were what, 7 years old, right? And you started to get involved in the music business. So tell our audience a little bit about that.
I had a great babysitter. Actually, this cool thing, she was Einstein's great niece. So
The Einstein?
The
Wow.
Einstein. The
Wow.
Albert Einstein. So I
Wow.
always like to say that indirectly Einstein is the reason I'm a musician. And she used to bring her cello over and play for us, and it made me fall in love with music. So I told my mom, I want to play the cello. And she said, no, 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 you want to play the violin.
You were 7 years old and you wanted to play a cello.
Yes.
But you know how big the cello is, right?
Well, you know, it's
Cello is a
bigger than me.
It's a violin on steroids, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, it's not as many steroids as a bass, but yes.
Okay, that's true.
So, yeah. That's,
So then you developed the love of
well,
music
you know,
at 7.
Yeah, I think I always loved music. My dad's a musician. That's not his main thing, but my whole family has always been involved in music. Actually, they say that it skips a few generations. My great-grandfather was one of the founders of the Israeli Philharmonic.
Wow.
So, and one of the first conductors. So he was a great classical violinist. And classical, I bow to him. Mm-hmm. But I like all music, so couldn't stick just to classical. Couldn't do it.
So where did you go from age 7, wanting the cello, but getting into the violin? Where did you go from there?
Well, at first I was doing mostly classical, although every time I would come home from a lesson, my dad would bring out his accordion and say, okay, now you learn klezmer piece. So I learned to play by ear while I was learning, and it was great because as I got into high school, I started jamming with my friends and playing folk music, and every time I started playing a new style, I realized that that's what music really is. It's everything. It's just like art is not just a painting on the wall, it's the way the snow falls. You know, the music is the same way. There's just different ways that snow can fall depending on the air, and it's the same with music.
Snow can fall. I never heard it put that way.
Yeah. Well, and that's what music is to me. It's all great. It's just different ways of expressing. You know, so I try to learn as many styles as I can, and you know, when you listen to the songs on my CD, you hear that they're all coming from different veins of music, and some of them are combined, some of them are more strict. But
what's the inspiration to the music behind this album?
Well, the main song, No Strings Attached, was actually the 3rd song I ever wrote, and it was the most popular time in my life, I'll say, and I was only 25 or 26 at the time, and for the first time I had really come into myself and was getting asked out a lot and just wanted to have a good time, you know, no boyfriend, no thank you, and so that's why No Strings Attached came around.
That is so adorable.
And it's funny because, yeah, you know, since then strings have gotten attached, unattached, attached again, but the song, I think, holds true for many people. I think one thing is even when we do attach ourselves to somebody else, we want to keep our own identity.
This is really deep, isn't it?
It is. I mean, most artists,
here,
we
just
are
like
deep.
listening to what you're saying.
We are deep. Artists are deep. We are. That's just,
I agree.
That's our base, you know?
Have to
that's our
be.
foundation.
And, you know, the other 2 songs that you hear today, another one that's on the album is Serenade, and that is a serenade that I actually wrote for somebody. And that's where the inspiration for that song came, was
That's beautiful.
infatuation, crush, love, whatever.
All the feelings mixed in one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll make you cry as I cried when I was writing it.
Dave was like, what in the world?
Sorry, we're getting too girly for you.
It's a girly moment.
So you tell me what the difference between a fiddle and a violin is. That's what I want to know. I grew up on country music, and everybody played
All
the
right.
fiddle.
Well, I like the fiddle. I played the fiddle. Sorry, I do this sometimes when I think South, because I did grow up there.
Well, I'm from the South, too, right?
South
Are
what?
we from the South?
I'm the
or-
South Bronx.
Okay. Am I downtown Bronx? I don't know where I'm at.
Well, the real difference between a fiddle and a violin is actually the way you set it up. And by that I mean the bridge, the part that holds the string up. Classical violinists and other styles of violinists tend to have a more curved one, while a fiddler will shave his down so that it's almost flat, which enables it to be much easier to play double stops and things like that.
Maybe I should have asked her.
I don't know.
I'm not a musician.
It sounds really great, though, but
Well, basically,
asked.
you know how
I know.
when you're playing, you have to.
it's different shapes.
It's different. Yeah, it's
for a
different
purpose,
shapes.
not just for
different
aesthetic
shape
reasons.
to make it.
It's there's a science
Yeah,
behind why it's
but
shaped
other
that way.
than that, it's really the same thing. To be honest, you know, it's.
Now, you play bluegrass as well, right?
I do.
Bluegrass,
I do.
klezmer, classical. What don't you play? Jazz, because she's really, really good jazz.
Jazz.
What don't you play?
Well, I haven't actually mastered Carnatic violin yet. Indian, that's the next step.
Ooh,
So I have a friend who does that a
interesting.
lot, and I'd like to learn that and at some point travel to the East and learn the Eastern, because I've done all the different Western styles at
That's
this point,
exciting.
but there's still Eastern styles, and I feel like they can come into play a lot, especially in jazz, where, you know, over the years, jazz musicians have drawn their music from millions of different, you know, experiences. And that includes travel, because as a musician, hopefully we're lucky enough to get to travel and bring our experiences as we've traveled into our music.
Exactly.
Well, let me ask you one final question tonight. Can you tell me who Efrat is and why people should be interested in you?
Because you love my music, and my music is designed to make you do one of two things: either jump up and dance or cry. And
I'd rather jump up and dance. Well, I'd rather jump up. I can't dance.
yeah, but you know,
dancing.
I actually have a song about this. Life, you can't appreciate the best moments in life unless you have a moment that's as bad as those moments are good. Because if life was all like this, how can you appreciate this?
You're very philosophical, aren't you?
It's very deep. I love it.
I guess.
I think we're going to have to leave it like this.
I love it.
Just you let your music speak for itself. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful sounds of Efrat. You're watching the Rhythms of New York. I'm Dave Brodsky.
And I'm Selena Bosque. I'd like to thank the artists that we have on today. It's Larry, John, Jordan, Joe, and the lovely Efrat.
Thank you for watching the show, and make sure you watch the credits at the end for further information on Efrat.
No strings attached, wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. Wanna have a blast with you, but no strings attached. Wanna have fun time, no strings attached. Wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. Wanna have a blast with you, no strings attached. Getting together, talking or walking, or maybe sharing an ice cream cone. Watching a movie, things will get loopy when you and I just stay at home. I wanna have a fun time, no strings attached. Wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. I wanna have a blast with you, but no strings attached. I wanna have a fun time, no strings attached. I wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. I wanna have a blast with you, no strings attached. Hey, yeah, you've been good to me. There ain't no other but. I don't need a bother, so please, please, please. I wanna have a fun time, no strings attached. I wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. I wanna have a blast with you, but no strings attached. I wanna have a fun time, no strings attached. I wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. I wanna have a blast with you, no strings attached. A kissing, a hugging, or giving me loving makes me wanna stay. But baby, please understand, yeah, I like you, but I just wanna pay. I wanna have a fun time, no strings attached. I wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. I wanna have a blast with you, but no strings attached. I wanna have a fun time, no strings attached. I wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. I wanna have a blast with you, no strings attached. No strings attached, wanna lay in the sun and forget about the past. Wanna have a blast with you,